welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this dresser behind me. I'm going to give it a paint and you'll find out soon what color I do, so let's get into it. Here is the before of the dresser. You can see how dirty it is. We're going to clean it, clean everywhere. This also has drawer liner in it that I do not like, so we're also going to be taking that out and probably not replacing it, but let's go ahead and get started with our cleaning. I start by cleaning it with Simple Green, hot water and a rag. I've already started, that's why the water is dirty, but that's a good example of why we want to clean it, because it is pretty gross. In the video before, you just saw the top of how dusty it was. It's been sitting in my garage for a month, so that is one reason why we want to give it a cleaning. And also, just to get any cobwebs, you might be able to see some in there. And just all the oils and stuff on it. We don't want to sand that. We're going to go through more sandpaper than we would have to by just giving it a good clean. So let's keep doing that. I'm also taking out the drawers, giving the drawers a cleaning, taking off the handles. And this one has drawer liner on it already, and we don't like that, so we're going to take it off as well. Next up is sanding. I'm using a 220 grit sandpaper because I know I'm going to paint this, so I don't need to get all the way down to bare wood. I just need to scuff up the surface and give it a good adherence to my primer, and so that's why I'm using 20 grit. I'm going to use Bondo to fill in all the crumb, I think it's called a crumb holder or something, all the way top. Fill that in so it's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to use just normal wood filler on the sides. I use that because it's not as durable, so I don't want it on the top, but it's fine on the sides. And I'm going to fill in any scratches, any holes, any dents, anything like that. Okay, so the reason that I made this wood and water mixture is because you can see on here, you see all that shininess, and you see like these parts that are also a little bit darker. That's because there's a bunch of scratches on here, and so I'm gonna fill that in with wood filler so I have a smooth part. So I'm just gonna take this mixture, add a little bit too much water, but it doesn't matter. Take out some of the wood filler and just scrape it on here. Done putting wood filler on the drawers. I'm going to let them sit over there and dry and sand off the wood filler that we already did on the dresser. Okay, I got this thing sanded now. You can see all the white dots in there is the wood filler. That's how many like nicks and scratches were on this thing. But on this part where I tried to fill in that gap all the way around, it is right there. You can see it's not fully, like when I touch it, it goes in. So I'm gonna have to fill in some more of those around this. There's not too many. Normally when you do something that was that deep, that is normal to have to do 2 coats or 2 rounds of Bondo or wood filler. I have an idea to cut the base off of this dresser. I want to add legs to it, make it look more modern. I have never used a jigsaw before, and I'm about to for the first time, so let's see how this goes. Now on to primer. I'm using a spray can. I'm using the Zinsser 123 primer, but I'm using it in a can because that's what I had on hand. And I'm only doing 1 coat. This wood didn't bleed through, so I only needed 1 coat of it. It's a water-based primer, and I love it. I have a gallon of it along with the spray cans. I'll get those once in a while as well. I know it doesn't look like I primed the drawers because I used a shellac primer. I ran out of my other can and I was already priming a different dresser, so I just used that same primer. Anyway, I am now painting the drawer in Even Better Beige by Behr. It is one of my favorite colors because it is my best-selling color. So it's usually my go-to when I don't know what else to do. The blacks have not been selling very well in my area, so I've been leaning more on the beige colors to sell in my area. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 coats of this. I'll let it dry, sand it with a 400 grit in between each coat, and move on to the dresser. One thing I forgot to record was adding the new base. So basically all we did was add structure under the dresser so we could screw the legs in, and that was it. It wasn't anything fancy. We bought different legs, so that's how we were able to screw them on the bottom. I added gold hardware to the dresser and I ended up loving how this one turned out. I actually posted it and it sold 3 hours later. I think that's a record for me. So, yep, I love this dresser. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.